told me that you checked the facts, and I'm telling you that you are false. You are wrong. You come to office and you tell the students that when they gain admission, even though they are poor, they should go through stress, and that if they are lucky and survive the stress and find the money and pay the fees and get into the school, then they apply for you to reimburse them. Was that the promise? You deceived you. You aided this government to mislead the country. How about those who remained at home? So did you see? Wait. So did you see the number of hold on, don't step back here. No, don't step back here. You ask the question, you let me land.
Miracles, no.
Okay, you finish and I'll speak without interjection.
No, Miracles.
It's okay, I'll let you finish.
I am not your co-panelist.
But you are debating me.
I'm not. I'm asking you.
No, so let me speak.
Government made a promise contingent on the budget. These are timelines, factual timelines.
Which promise? When is the promise and contingent? What are
let me finish. Then the budget was read. Remember that the budget was read in March of last year.
No, wait. Before you continue, don't confuse it. No.
Just a second.
Is that promise contingent or what? Wait.
Miracles.
No. Evans, hold on.
No.
Promise. There was no promise contingent on any budget.
Miracles.
That's false.
Let me ask the question.
No. But what you are saying is false. There was no promise contingent on any budget.
I'm not here to debate. I'm here to ask a question.
No, but it's a lie.
You see, and the woman minimum size, minimum serious. In fact, I love people say omo din koma, omo pay intimidation. Then this is one of the people that I was talking about the last time. Say NPP communication teams no. The communication team no. Nkrofo omaye ready so me man. And one of them is Miracles Aboagye. In fact, it was a very fantastic interview. It got to a point and now better than a debate. The host wanted to use the caliber, the dignity, Sanko the back Miracles Aboagye for met and foul. You see, your communications, and your communication. Yeah, we know an air cost no, Nanka yai, but we Nanka yai debate. A kakete, Nanka yai debate. Your communicator, in your communicator be a communicator because who dear gra, what should you pano what one war grant to interview? Ni who told us what the semi best show and an interview no maybe about no. In fact, Miracles Aboagye did perfectly well. It got to a point. Nanka papa ne person were intimidating me, so I am imperil. Oh, call for interview and pato. Prepare yourself. How can you tell the people of Ghana say, and this is the policy by say policy no, and they say, okay, more free na more be university no. Yeah, mamu uremu ansam. Ye bekwa ko tue sika de ato. Enti wo uremu a ye tue first year de amount. And pato wo say efo. Obi timi buy ye free SHS from pato. Nipa do say na ekọ university. But yembuza say nipa do say na free DHS ekọ SS. Na for company university you can say efo. Na from how can you tell the people say Montuma me ba first year me mamu uremu ansam memma mako. Or they say me tua ansam mako. Na we na waka say what the reinvestment eba. Inti nipa no nko uremu fa de sika nko uremu ansam me pacho wetua saa sika na ama na mpacho de wo ko suku no wo tikoko na so wo sika etimidi nipa kwa ahyase a pacho nkontwe wo sika wo. Now I'm going to give you a video of John Dramani Mahama me nkofo obi foforo me nkofo na minister me papa no ankasa video di amaw ya wo promise Ghana for say me nkantre mo say mo nkomu ansam me say me pacho metua ansam mako betendei omudi nkomo foforo eno ho debate and akoso Joy FM, Joy News. But listen to John Dramani Mahama. Ne nkomo bi a wodi ye, enkomo a wodi ye during the campaign before the election. Listen to this.
The other one is about academic facility user fees. You know, there are many cases where I've seen students who have been offered admission, but who have not been able to take their places in university because their families simply cannot afford to pay the fees. There was a case of a medical student in Upper East region who was working on the farm. He had passed with the A's or throughout, and he was called to medical school. But he was on the farm with his parents and couldn't go to take up his admission because he couldn't afford the fees. There are many other students like that. You think 2 2,500 cedis or something is small. For some families to be able to put 2,500 cedis together is a real struggle. And so we don't want, especially in the first year, when the students are coming in for the first time, for them to go through what we call fee stress. And that's why we call it a no fee stress policy. And so we're saying that we can absorb the academic facilitator fees, but it will not affect the subventions of government to the universities and institutions of higher learning. The subvention from government has kept declining. We're going to increase the subvention, but apart from that, we're going to make sure that the university gets their subvention on time so that they can balance their budgets. And we've costed it, and we approximate that for all first year students in public tertiary institutions, it should cost anywhere between 270 to about 290 million Ghana cedis. Let me tell you something. The president, a few years ago, his travel budget for traveling in 9 months amounted to 69 million Ghana cedis. They held one cabinet retreat at the presidency, one cabinet retreat. You know how much it costs? It costs almost 5 million Ghana cedis for a cabinet retreat. There is so much waste in the system. And even if you look at the Office of President budget alone, you'll be able to cut to raise enough money to pay fees, academic facility user fees for all level 100 students. Because that thing you see there when you go to Accra, the building, is called the Office of the President. You know the budget, 2 billion cedis every year. 2 billion cedis. It's even now that IMF has come, they've cut it down. At a point it used to be 3-point-something billion cedis every year. And you say we can't find 270 million cedis to ease the fee stress of our students who are coming first year into university. I think that it can be done. And it is constitutional, because let me read the constitutional provision to you. Just the same way free SHS was done. It says here in Article 25 of the 1992 Constitution, it says that higher education shall be made equally accessible to all on the basis of capacity by any appropriate means, and in particular by progressive introduction of free education at the tertiary level. It's here. It's in the Constitution. So just absorbing those fees, I think that we can do it by cutting down on waste and cutting down on corruption. We spent $58 million to dig a pit, the most expensive pit in the world. $58 million could have more than paid the fees of all first years. And so it can be done, and we'll do it.
So with this video, I want to ask Uncle Evans Mensah, the host, the person me busa ne sempatro, this kind of promises, videos we no when you be here. The part of videos we no Joy News journalist ne psramo when ya sa video we be here. Papa when you be anhwa mpamcho yan tag video in ndu because in common on miracles be limited na mentiase. How can you tell me say okay, president say or reimburse sikano e de ama wo nti omonko? Was that a promise? The question is, was that a promise? This is the promise of the man almost say. They won't need be now what on. It got to a point to cry. John Dramani Mahama then time will say, what cause a Flagstaff house was a day is a Jubilee house one, a Daniels one every year, or mobile hooker 2 billion. First, the crown a 3-point-something billion. While Bravo Timidi Sikano at the Ame University for the Akko, and he solidly promised the new year student. Or promise woman. It was one of the campaign messages, the policies. Now, Obiaba. Okay, I don't want to go there to see. May interview.
Investment. the promise that this government made to those poor children was not reimbursement. They said that you will not go through any stress, no stress fee for level 100 students. Now, you come to office and you tell the students that when they gain admission, even though they are poor, they should go through stress, and that if they are lucky and survive the stress and find the money and pay the fees and get into the school, then they apply for you to reimburse them. Was that the promise? You deceived you. You aided this government to mislead the country. And I'll explain to you, I'll make another point to you. That promise that the president made was on the back of students who are poor, gain admission, are unable to get loans, are unable to raise the resources, and remain at home. There was a gentleman in Adeso who completed senior high school, gained admission to Lagos, but was weeding, couldn't find money to go and pay fees to the university. Those were the children that the no stress-free fee loan fees was targeting. Now this guy who couldn't find money to go to the university is still at home. And you say you are going to reimburse to those who found the money to go to school. How about those who remained at home? So did you see? Wait. So did you see the number of hold on, don't step back here. No, don't step back here. Let me make the point. Did you see on social media the number of poor children who were soliciting for funds so they can go to the tertiary institutions? So let me ask you a simple question. You came to tell me I had gone through secondary education for free. I pick my bag, I enter the school, I eat for free, I read for free, I sleep for free, and you told me that even though the government of the day has given me free senior high school, and I've gone through it without paying a dime, and I'm done, I should vote against him and vote for you. You know why? Because that government that gave me free SHS did not give me free university. So what would I do? Even though I am indebted to him, I voted against him and voted for you. Now you come, and you tell me that in order for me to benefit from that promise you gave me, I should go and hustle, go through stress. If I'm lucky and I get the money and I get into the university, then I apply for you to reimburse. So now you agree with me? That not a single Ghanaian has received the free express fees.
A few facts to correct. First, the government made a promise dependent on the budget.
No, please. Miracles. No, but that is false.
Miracles.
Oh, I should let you finish.
Miracles. It's a question. My job is to ask a question. Your job is to answer. So, government made a promise contingent on the budget. These are timelines, factual timelines.
Which promise? When is the promise and contingent? What
let me finish. Then the budget was read. Remember that the budget was read in March of last year.
No, wait. Before you continue, don't confuse it. No.
Just a second.
Is that promise contingent or what? Wait.
Miracles.
No. Evans, hold on.
No.
Promise. There was no promise contingent on any budget.
Miracles.
That's false.
Let me ask the question.
No. But what you are saying is false. There was no promise contingent on any budget.
I'm not here to debate. I'm here to ask a question.
No, but it's a lie. It's a lie.
It's Miracles. Listen to the question, and then you can answer.
Proceed.
Okay? Because if you don't hear the question, you'll be jumping the gun.
Proceed.
So, government reads the budget in March. By March, when the budget was read, these are timelines. When the budget was read, the university students were in school. Government's explanation at the time was because they had already enrolled before the budget was read, or everybody who went in before the budget was read would be reimbursed. What you do is to check if the reimbursement has happened. And I'm coming back to the point you're making about media deceiving the public. You check if indeed people have been reimbursed. The check checks out, they've been reimbursed. So your point that somebody was misleading anybody, again, doesn't check out.
No, it does.
Now,
can I speak now? I didn't ask you a question. You said it was a question.
The question then is,
okay,
based on the budget and the government explanation, what is the point about that the government indeed misled the students?
You know me, I'm the last
What's the
person.
point of that?
I'm the last person.
When the timelines, as we saw play out last year, just lent itself, according to the budget of 2025, right, to the admission process preceding the budget. How do you swear?
The way you are struggling, it's not your fault. You didn't make that promise.
It's a simple question. How do you swear that timeline into the budget?
Can I now speak without interjections? I allowed you to ask the question. So first of all, what I told you, that no single Ghanaian has benefited from a no stress fee in Ghana is fact. You have just explained and buttressed my point. That indeed, whatever the Ghanaian students have received is post-stress. After the poor child has stressed and luckily gone into the university, then he applies for reimbursement. So you've supported my point. You still haven't been able to tell me one Ghanaian child.
But that was,
I beg you.
But that was a policy.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. I beg you. I beg you. Don't do that. Don't do that. But why you do? You can't do this. You ask the question. You won't let me land.
Miracles. No.
Okay. You finish and I'll speak without interjection.
No. Miracles.
It's okay. I'll let you finish.
I am not your co-panelist.
But you are debating me.
I'm not. I'm asking you.
No. So let me speak. You are debating me.
Miracles. Let's stick.
But you are done. You finished the question. Let me speak.
Miracles. Pause. Take a deep breath. Simply listen. I am not competing with you for communications director, am I?
No, I'm competing with you on the ideas. We are competing on the ideas.
I am not.
Because you told me that you said the fact. And I'm telling you that you are false.
Miracles.
You are wrong.
Pause. Deep breath. Just listen to my question.
But you asked the question, you didn't let me answer. You are changing the question.
Pause. Deep breath. Remember,
proceed.
You are not addressing me, you are addressing the audience.
But the audience are worried about you because you are not allowing me to speak to them.
Pause. Take a deep breath.
Proceed.
Remember, my job is to ask the question.
Proceed.
You answer. I am not making a statement.
Proceed.
I am asking a question.
Proceed.
I am asking you based on, you said no fee stress.
Yes.
Which was the original intention of the policy. The policy says, for first years going to school, government will give you no free stress. Government explained, and I'm running by you government's
response. But you've said this already. No. Previously.
Listen.
You're not saying anything new. Ask the question. You've said this already.
Government explained that because the money wasn't there at the time, for first year students, this will not be implemented the way it was originally planned. But going forward, having now received the budget, so for example, this year, those who are going to school in September will not have that problem. That's the government explanation. You reject that.
Can I speak now?
You reject that government explanation.
I beg you, let me speak. Don't tell me how to explain it. First of all,
and I'm not telling you how to explain it. I want you to construct.
No. Oh, don't do that. If you do that, but you are done. You are done with your question. Can I speak now?
Just one point.
Okay, continue.
Take a deep breath.
I've breathed enough.
Take a deep breath and listen to me. I'm saying I am not arguing with you.
Can I speak now?
Don't frame it as I am arguing with you. I'm asking your question.
Can I speak now?
You please.
So don't interject me.
No, you can't say that because this is my show. If I have a question, I'll ask you.
I'm a stakeholder on the show.
You do. I invite you.
I have rights on the show. Once you invite me, I have rights.
True, you do. I respect those.
So let me speak.
But you can't say that don't interject.
Okay, interject me as much as you want. Let me speak now.
Proceed.
Evans, how many academic years have we had since, how many batches of first years have we had since this government came to office?
Answer the question.
Two batches. We've had 2 batches of students going to the university first years since they came to office. 2. You've made an excuse for the 2025 early years 1. How about the second batch? What is the excuse for that one too? So you see, I am right. You are wrong.
It's a framing of your answer. It is. I'm asking a question.
But
I didn't make a statement. Miracles.
Okay. Those who claim, so not you. Those who claim that I am wrong. Those who claim that the students in Ghana went to school and they were given reimbursement, so that makes up for the promise are wrong. You made a promise. The promise had a premise, had a background. The premise and the background for that promise was you wanted to prevent dropouts. These dropouts, having access to loans to even come to the school from family members or banks is even a challenge. So you wanted to eradicate it completely. So you lured them to go and queue and vote for you with the promise that when you come, all they would need is to pick their bags. You pay their fees as grants to the university so they go to the university. If you have changed that promise, tell us. But don't come and mislead us that the new thing that you are implementing that is strange to us, we haven't heard before, is what you promised us. That is disingenuous. That is disrespectful to the people. What is being implemented is not no stress fee policy that was promised. What is being implemented is post-stress fees. That if God blesses you and you are poor and you're able to find fees and go and pay the university and you go, then you can apply for reimbursement. That wasn't the promise. And when I said it, you said, no. We have checked the numbers, and when we checked, government had reimbursed. And I said, you are right. Government has reimbursed them, but that is a different policy. That is not the promise that government used to lure the young people to go and queue and vote for the government. I went to the university with a student loan. You know how student loans work? When you get admission, you go and apply, you get admission, you pay your fees and go to school. When you enter the school, you use your admission letter to apply to Senate for the loan. And then Senate will disburse the loan to you maybe in the second semester. You hear us scream, loan number. That has always been in existence. That is what is being implemented now. Get admission, hustle, get money, pay, go to the university, apply for fees through the student loan transfer. That has always been there. I used that to attend University of Ghana between 2003 and 2007. So that is not the promise that this government made. So if I tell you that not a single Ghanaian has benefited from that, I am right.
Does the wound-to-me incarceration also feature?
What to me is a political prison. That's why there's no doubt about it.
I mean, is that also a reason?
This evening, as we speak, we have people doing galamsey on the road to Kumasi at Konongo. They are not in jail. This evening, as we speak, on the streets going to Kumasi, Konongo roadside, people are doing galamsey. They are not in jail.
Yeah, but you know you can't just
no.
You have to try them.
Exactly. But they are not even arrested. They are still doing it. Broad daylight in campuses on the campus of schools.
But does that justify wound-to-me?
No. So I am saying that flags wound-to-me, and then ask a question of why him.
Why him? He was found
so I leave guilty. I leave that answer. I mean, but there's a difference between
the court has found him.
I'm not discussing the guilt, the merit of the matter.
Why him?
No.
Why him?
I'm telling you that the merit of the matter has been discussed enough.
Yeah.
I am saying that as we speak, even the president himself said that he doesn't dispute the fact that his own government people are involved in galamsey. There are people in this government that have been referred to Yoko for investigation in galamsey for over a year and a half now. They have not even been invited to be queried. The national organizer of the NDC said that nobody has even invited him. So if wound-to-me is in jail for galamsey, and we tell you that it is because of his political affiliation, not because you believe he's actually guilty. The belief of guilt or otherwise, the court has determined that he is. I am saying that if you live in a society where
isn't that
so think about it. If you live in a society where if MPP comes to power and Miracles is doing galamsey, he could walk free, but Evans will be jailed, you should be afraid. You should be worried. Don't be happy about it. That is all I am saying. I am telling you that if you are a citizen and if you are watching me, and that, like you are saying, if that is the case, that there are people in this government that are neck deep in galamsey to the extent that they've been referred to the security agencies. No, I'm not saying they've been referred to the security agencies, but they have not even been invited. The gentleman said it himself. He has not even been invited, but there has been a fast track within 6 months incarceration of an opponent who is also accused of galamsey. Be worried because the precedent is being set. As we speak today, when you go to TikTok, and I say TikTok is an open source social media platform. Yeah. Nobody controls anybody there. That's where free speech is. At least 50 people from different regions, different places have been bundled up one way or the other by this government. Why? Why should everybody say what you want to hear? Why do you want people to say only what you want to hear? If that is the case, then where is the beauty of our democracy? I am saddened, and I'll tell you what. I am sad about how this government is going simply because I know how we all played here in these studios when they were in opposition. I know how how we all played here. In fact, you remember that in few occasions, I think I remember about 15 or so occasions, or less, or just a little bit more, I had a cause to even complain about my government. And I have it on on Facebook, where I felt that some of the arrests of some of these social media comments or media things were unnecessary. These people in government today, we always say Akufo-Addo is a tyrant, Akufo-Addo is a dictator, Akufo-Addo is this, Akufo-Addo is that, Akufo-Addo gave him all manner of names. Because at that time they felt that they are special and that they could say anything that they want to say. Can you mention one person in the NDC that didn't rain insult at Akufo-Addo? The names they gave Akufo-Addo, the names they gave Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Why are you so afraid of experiencing exactly what you have cultivated? These guys actually sponsored an individual who ran down every single person in this country. Every chief was insulted. Every pastor was insulted. You dare not cross him. You do not, all of you were insulted. This media house, he insulted almost everybody, all of you. He came into this country, was given a red carpet, given national security protection, walked in and walked out. So, and then the vulnerable ones who also have equal rights are being arrested. It saddens my heart. And let me tell you where the biggest problem is. The biggest problem is the abuse of the rights of these people that they even arrest.
How do you feel? How do you feel? Interviewing on. I don't know. But Miracles Aboagye make a statement to say that man, deceive the people of Ghana. So I don't know where he stands. Because meaning say yeah, my position nanka. I don't know where he stands. But dear Papa ne dear Papa ne I wonder, as a journalist, what to me Danny co-panelist, Emma and Komoko debate. I didn't know who debate to Hononswa, and yet non because that wasn't the promise. And the other thing was a wood did them like one cast would did them no come out. There were tear grass na John Dramani Mahama cast when Nisiko de Beko investing. About a dear necessary massa, my many bano papa bano or tear grass. I feed the papano bano got two abama John Dramani Mahama ye, papano got tubi, my men got tubi because of more pese or mobano in your Dutch. And ten my John Dramani Mahama say, young quarto, ne via or the abano, Bell University will free for 1 year. But we are 2-3 years now can we the boy. A dear necessary sa papa and the man and the other got to a baby yano. If I tell John Dramani Mahama and then not by a catcher or say, okay, see how the adjunct classes out, Tio, the adjunct classes, and Timodia Monco Pesica, Namon Fanco. No, was the called the background battle. Who say, and I make catcher, who was a phrase it is at a family. Obia been to be baby. Sa na mo promise for disabled force and mobile school free. And a disabled for demonstration. Only demonstration, Tiamo. Someone who let they are preparing to demonstrate against your government. And a disabled form battle or free tertiary in battle. Ewa he. At the end to me, yeah. Nkofo eba ban won. And komomodina dosun because they were eager. They were eager to rule this country. And the promises ya hold one crofo e de maye. Na me to mpacho se me osika meti medie we invest mu a. Me wuremu wi a nyame be kire. And I will say ya hwe won se nkurasefo sabe omo nkuro nkito mu no. Enkura ne ntimi nyesika because of maame nhada nya adwuma papa nhada nya adwuma. Enti ye ma ne wuremu 1 year. Na wonim se wo map akura ne wuremu 1 year mpacho. Ento ankosi se the following year beso no. Na wonim adwuma maame ne papa na ye apesika de ato nachi. But the one room said, who say adding into promise. I feel a ban saying, and I also be reimburse Eddie Amom because of move music and come Korea no chia. Is that the promise you make? Yeah, but a journalist in your brain home defend such lies or defend these things. And in fact, I wonder my interview several, my dream, I don't get it. And to say Miracles Aboagye na quite a different communicator. Ko betwa fa no so. Nim sa woni me ya adua. Ko twifa no so because nipa na kasa. Wakasa na wabam. The last time sat here And because no, there are some communications, the communicators who NPP more. Hey, more party no. Yes, and in fact, some common no idea no. And no, and no been and them who in the resource ni. We must say na NPP here this time. Democracy and attack. Koso. Now when mamenka asamba kunchero, there are some videos via air poppy back. Say NPP for no more demonstration and kasakura no more. Hey, more than munda sabi. Don't you think say Anna, can't you see say the opponent can do this? Way enye dwuma for the opponent to do this. Way enye ade edi say yeah, co demonstration. But obi anim obi afi NPP party no nyem penifo ni na anim obi afi. And say we free ha obey de ho be bia we free. But Waba no was atade koko won se party atade no so we NDC na we CPP na we gumni ana we NPP ni enti Waba no obey confusion. How would you know so free this political party? But about bontin you say NPP for no more demonstration or more. Hey, open your eyes, I know what I'm talking about. Because we are so opponent na so mo ye so mo be saade we ade we enso no mo ye o so mbe ye nti e ma nenya wo send people for na eko. Open your eyes. Sad demonstration e koso no ya ye send people for na eko no. Open your eyes. Betimi aba se omo ankasa be soma omo nkrofo monko no shada ni bi nkoko no shada ni bi nkoye confusion ha na aba because omo ina the NPP demonstration mo enti NPP for na ye enti NPP for kon woni na ho no woni na ho ma woni na ho eba ne sen ne ina akase ye demonstration e de na de ntokwa na bai e de pa na de ntokwa na bai because omanye ehunu se ye chi obi na nkrofo ekojiro free this guy free this man I trust 2 times so obi aba be kase you cram timbe bi on ye be frɛ me enti omohunu sam e wo se trust saa ti yen kwaka ye confusion okwa kase okra you see that thing they can do this we ya dey mo enti ebi mo ni abrene before mo demonstration ko mo ko akọ bi no I friend bongo ideas na ti sei kuba ya sensen ho ono wonka asam papa dawo ono ane ma me kura me ndi se waka asam papa afa ho da but ko hwe de water and no mo ko Kevin Taylor nye bi twa akwa ne tipasi e friend say free mind one so nye bi twa obi nye bi twa because any people before ko we any people ni ampatwa e masa de obu abem ko a game a plan they can send people to go and do that even on betimi asoma ne pamienu he mo nhye kokko na mbata tade kokko no mbata 10 billion ana tade kokko wusi force mu a me pese me ma wo bie wani mono amukọ demonstration no bia mo beti bi mesi mo be hu bi social media say atwetwe people are fighting demonstration they are fighting they are killing themselves money now but educate ya atade kokko ne tuntum no na ebu onye di okuta 10 cedis a obenya bi ato yen toma NPP ni 1 cedi and yen toma NDC ni 20 billion enti NDC ni betimi ato NPP ni betimi ato but to destroy mo demonstration into also mesi o betimi ni police va ko confusion me akasa ni people before na ye ma woni na ho omo mfa ho so betimi ni police for akoye confusion because on she party atare no hunzu we ye NPP na we ye NDC to betimi aye ama na boroso wadaworoma enti mo woni na ho ade tia and demonstration o mo ye na ade tia e bia wo betinsem ba wotia na wakai say bra bit smart Africa media o ka kire say ade we no mo ye no NDC for betimi abi wurum CPP for betimi wurum e ba to yensi obi akwan so wo mra obi betimi akobi akoye confusion just to disgrace the party. I rest my case. We did the man come back and I could for some TV. Then comment section na yen konkodi enkomo macro.